everybody, my name is Dranger. I want to welcome you to a new video. This one's going to be a little bit different from all the others that we've ever posted because this one's going to be our plans for 2026. Now, we've already had a few figures arrive, so we're going to start with those figures. We're going to show those off, but then we're going to go into the ones that we have on the way. And then we have the ones on pre-order, and then we have the ones that we have planned. Now, it's going to start off with figures that I have plan the most. And just you guys wait, because there's quite a lot of figures. We're also going to be talking about some honorable mentions. I'm going to try to tackle those honorable mentions this year, but we'll just have to see what happens. So, something tells me we're going to need a lot more shelf space. So let's go ahead and get right into this list so you guys can check out what I have planned. Alrighty, so like I said, we are going to start off with the figures that we have already gotten delivered because we are a month into 2026, so we've already gotten a few. And then we're going to move on to the figures that we have on the way, and then the figures that we have on pre-order, and then so on. The ones after we have on pre-order are going to be the figures that we have on pretty much a wait list because they're our most anticipated figures. So let's go ahead and get into this. First figure is going to be Cad Bane. He's from the Book of Boba Fett. I think this figure is a really good one to get. I know it's very high on a lot of people's list, especially when it first came out. People thought it was pretty amazing. It came with 3 head sculpts. It comes with a flamethrower effect. It comes with Toto. I did get the deluxe version, so I got all that. And I think this is an amazing figure. He's got a lot of detail, and I'm definitely going to enjoy it. Next figure in our collection is going to be Darth Revan. It's our first Legends figure in our collection, and I want to go towards more of a Sith look to my collection, and I think Darth Revan's going to achieve that. I'm going to add way more aesthetic to, best suit him. Like, we do have Nihilus on the way, and Darth Malgus will go great with him as well, but we'll just have to see what happens. Next figure that we have delivered, and is a really amazing one, is going to be the Battle Damage Deluxe version of Darth Vader. Now, I know this one's ranked very high on a lot of people's list. He's got a lot of great detail. This is the deluxe version, so it does come with the cape. I did not get the version that comes with the half faceplate, though. I didn't feel like I had a need to get that, really. It comes with enough with the 3 head sculpts and whatnot, and the cape. I think that's good enough, and he looks great on my shelf right now. So now we can talk about the figures that we have on the way. First one's going to be the Mandalorian, of course. Now, I decided to go with the season 1 look because overall that is my favorite season from the show, especially that first episode. The first episode's amazing, of course. And I went with this figure also because they have the movie coming out, and you never know what figures they're going to bring from that. Fingers crossed for a chrome version that is from that movie that has no smudging, and is just straight up chrome. That's what we want. I think this is an amazing figure to add to our collection. I realized I had to get some blasters into my collection, so I went ahead and got the Mando. Overall, a great figure. And since we're getting him, we had to get somebody to go along with him because I felt like he was going to be by himself. So we went ahead and got IG-11. He's also on his way. Obviously, they're going to be paired up pretty nice together. I got IG-11 with the season 1 look of Mando. It comes with 2 blasters, of course. Great pairing, in my opinion. They're definitely going to look great together. They both come with sand bases, so I know they'll connect pretty well. Next up, we have Lord Starkiller. He is also on his way. Like I said, I wanted to go more for a Sith theme to my collection, and I think he's definitely going to bring it. I mean, it's Lord Starkiller. He's OP in the video game universe, right? So he's going to go pretty close to our battle damage Darth Vader. and pretty close to Darth Revan. We'll see what happens. I think this was a great figure to pick up for obvious reasons. A lot of people love this one. Great detail, especially in the back area. If you know the lore behind this character, you gotta know that this is an amazing one to have. If only Hot Toys would give us a Sam Witwer head sculpt. Next up, it's on our pre-order list. He was released, so we can only hope that he's gonna ship pretty soon. That's gonna be Savage Opress. I do have the Clone Wars version of Darth Maul, so I know that he's gonna look really well next to him. I'm super excited for Savage Opress because I mean he brings a lot of shelf presence. He comes with a lot of details and different poses that you could do. Like he comes with his pike, comes with interchangeable horns with rolling eyeballs, of course. You can change out his arm, which is amazing. I mean, the overall detail in the clothing is just super amazing. But yeah, super excited for Savage Opress. Definitely gonna pair him next to his brother. And who knows, even for the future. I'm thinking about getting a Palpatine. I'm just not sure which one to get. But we'll get to that. Next up on our pre-order list is going to be Darth Nihilus. We're really excited for this one. Let me tell you that this figure looks so amazing. Like I said, I did play KOTOR 2 and I loved that game. Knights of the Old Republic 2 is a really good game in my opinion. Even though it's really old, it's got a great story to it. So I definitely recommend it. It brings a lot of shelf presence, of course. A master Sith. If you know the story behind him, leave a like because he's actually got a really interesting story. He's going to look really good in the collection, I think. And who knows, even for the future, we might even get the Jedi version of Revan. Hopefully. It's the only picture of him that we got so far, so can only hope. Next up on our list are going to be the most anticipated figures of 2026, and these are going to be the figures I'm going to try to sort out the most. I'm going to try to get these figures the most, and as you can tell, the first one's going to be the 2-pack Queen Studios In Art Joker, and that's also the rooted hair version. And I can't tell you how many times I've almost bought this 2-pack because it is just so amazing. I know people really like the J&D Studios one, but I'm going more for the cheaper side because in the aftermarket prices are just insane for the J&D Studios. So we're going to go for the Inner 2-pack. I want to start to get into standalone figures that will look more standout in my collection as in movie figures, as I could say. Because there's a lot of movies I like other than just Star Wars. So I want to start collecting those too. And I want to start off with the Joker. I do have a Jack Sparrow, and he is the start, but I think the Joker is going to be like the absolute start to my movie collection. And with the 2-pack, he of course comes with the 2. And I'm going to, of course, display him in the prison cell. I just cannot wait for him. Definitely going to try to get him as soon as possible. Next up, we got Hellboy. Like I said, we're going to dwell into the movie verse. And I think Hellboy is a very underrated movie. I love the movie. It's one of my favorites. And I think this figure looks really great. If you know who this actor is, let me tell you, he's a pretty good actor. I'm not going to say who it is because they're going to be like, oh, he's from this show. Well, yes, but he's also in other things. And frankly, he did a pretty good job in my opinion. Now I know what you're thinking. Why are you getting this version instead of the first movie version? And frankly, that version is really outdated, so I wanted to get this one. It's clear representation of Hellboy and how he looks with his crown, of course, and his horns and his Excalibur, of course. Next up on our list is going to be Barbossa. I want to say it's by Yakuza. I can't quite say their studio name right, but Echo Design also did this, and it is a great figure in my opinion. I don't know if he's out quite yet. You know, he looks great. He's got the rooted hair, of course, and it comes with a lot of detail and accessories, like Jack, of course, and the coin and the apple, and his hat comes with real feather. Like, this figure is amazing. So obviously I want somebody to pair up with my Jack Sparrow that I have, and that's gonna be Barbossa. But this figure is gonna outrank my Jack because I only have the DX06 version of Jack. So in the future I might replace that one. But like I said, the detail with the rooted hair is just insane. They definitely outdone themselves with this figure. Next up on our list is going to be the Feral Predator. Now, I really want to get this figure. I don't know if there is a seamless armed version out there, but I really like this figure. You know, it's a great movie. I really enjoyed Prey and enjoying the hell out of the Predator series right now. They're doing a lot of it, and it's just great. I really enjoyed how this Predator looked in specifically because he was just so unique, and they tried to pull off a look for him that was different, and I think they nailed it. And overall, this figure just brings a lot of presence, and Hot Toys did a great job with this. Now, I know there is the battle damage version that is coming out, but I'm not sure if I want this version. I'd rather get the cleaner version for one of my first Predator figures. Um, so I decided not to go with this version. Next up is going to be the Inart Rick Grimes. Now, I really enjoyed The Walking Dead. It's one of my favorite shows, so of course I would want to get one of the best characters from the show, and that's Rick Grimes. Now, I do believe this is his season 6 look. He's got that farmer home steady look to him. And then he's got the seamless hands, of course, as you can tell, with the rooted hair. And he comes with plenty of accessories like his axe, his AK, his python, and he comes with a really nice display base, as you can tell. And right next to him, I really enjoy, of course, Daryl Dixon. I mean, as you can tell from these pictures, Inart once again has outdone themselves with these figures, and they just look so amazing. I really hope to get my hands on this figure because he just looks, he's got so much detail in that face. It's almost lifelike. We can only hope that the prototype picture is as good as the figure itself because this is amazing. Daryl comes with the same display as Rick, of course. Comes with plenty of accessories, including a lot of seamless hands. And his hands, let me tell you, look how much detail. You can see the vein work. And the skin texture is pretty crazy. So, of course, I got to pair them up next to each other. And who knows for the future? Maybe I even might get Negan, but not too sure. I would like to get these two first. Next up on our list is going to be the man himself, the Baba Yaga, John Wick from Chapter 4. I think this is his cleanest suit yet, with the black tie, the white suit, black jacket. It's amazing. This is his greatest look so far. And he comes with two interchangeable hairs. This comes with a pretty clean look, like he's just standing there. He's got his action hair pose, you know, like he's moving around. It's really amazing, honestly, that they do stuff like this with the interchangeable hair. And the rolling eyeballs, of course, make it look so lifelike. Now, he does, of course, come with a lot of accessories, being John Wick. And it's amazing that this figure is coming because he just overall stands up above all the other John Wick figures. This one's by far the best looking in my opinion, so I'm definitely going to try to get my hands on him. As you guys seen before, yes, our next figure planned is Deadpool. Now, this is about to be the next two figures are about the only Marvel figures in this list. Just because now Doomsday is coming out, so we don't know how many figures and what variations of those figures we're going to get. And if I'm going to start doing Marvel, I would like to do the most latest version of that. And frankly, that's pretty hard to do right now. There's a lot of Marvel figures out there. So right now I would like to start with the clean version of Deadpool. Now, there's a lot of reasons why I want to go with this version. I know people are very picky about his ankle pegs and how they break in action poses like this. But this is the best look for Deadpool, especially how they fixed how his head looks versus the last Deadpool figures. I think this one's gonna stand out in my collection. Comes with plenty of looks too. Like I said, they fixed his head and it looks way better. He does also come with baby pool, dog pool, and head pool. And like I said, I am gonna get the clean version, not the battle damage version, mainly because it's not clean. I rather have the clean version, and I will think about getting the Ryan Reynolds head sculpt because that is the nice thing to get, and it looks amazing along with the claws and the bones. I would rather get those two with the clean version, so maybe I'll get those separately online, figure out how I could do that. And I can't do Deadpool without Wolverine, of course. I'm going to do the most definitive version of him so far. Hopefully, he doesn't get recast. That would be a sad, tragic story. This Wolverine came out looking amazing. Everybody loved this look. Obviously, you got to try to go for this figure. It's his clean version with the battle damage accessories. And he comes with an amazing head sculpt. I don't know if I'm going to go for the other ones, like the TVA jacket version head sculpt. I could, but we'll just have to see. We have to try and get this figure first. Like I said, he does come with three different looks. He comes with his sleeves, his arms out, and then he comes with his mask. You can take his shoulder pads off if you want, but you don't have to. And then he has an interchangeable chest plate. So definitely going to try to go for this one. Next up on our list is going to be the InArt Batman. Now, yes, I am planning to get the Heath Ledger Joker and this version, the Robert Pattinson version Batman. Now, I do want to get the Christian Bale Batman, but I do want to get this Batman first. I think he comes with a lot of great shelf presence. I mean, if you just look at him, he's got a lot of detail to that suit. I think the InArt version is way better than the Hot Toys version too, and I rather get the sculpted hair version because I don't rather like how that really short hair looks on some figures. Like sometimes they do it right, but sometimes they don't. Like the one with Paul Atreides, I'm not sure how I feel about that one, but it's a so-so type thing. So like I said, InArt Batman, sculpted hair is next up on the list. Next up is going to be a standalone figure that I might actually get sooner than later, and that's going to be the Snow Speeder Luke. Now, I don't have any of the original trilogy figures in my collection yet, but I would like to start with Luke. There's a lot of options when it comes to the original trilogy figures because there's a lot of good ones, and then there's a lot of so-so ones, and then there's like versions of them that you want to try and match up with other ones, and it's like, okay, It's a lot to come. So I'd rather go for rather nice look for Luke, and that's the snow speeder. He's got great detail in this outfit, of course, coming with his grapple gun and his lightsaber and his blaster. You can pose him with his helmet on and off. You take his hair off. Comes with a snow display base and a Dagobah display. So I think this is a great figure. Definitely going to try to get him sooner than later. Next up is a very serious topic, and that's going to be the new Anakin sculpted hair version they have coming out from Hot Toys. Now, I do have the 2018 version of Anakin, but he is a great figure. I rather update this figure because he is the Sith version, and I would like to also have a Jedi version. And Hot Toys actually did a pretty amazing thing with doing the interchangeable hair and eyes. And I think that was a smart move by their end. That way they can kill two birds with one stone and have two different looks for him. Although you would have to get two versions of him. But I would like an updated version with him. I'm not sure if I'm going to display him with this display though. I rather like the 2018 version much more, which they do plan on releasing with the Mustafar version with the rooted hair. So it's like Hot Toys can't make up their mind whether or not they like this display base better than this one. We'll just have to see what we'll do. But like I said, definitely want to try to get this figure. Next up, now I know a lot of people were really picky about this figure when he first came out, but watching a lot of people get him and seeing how happy they were with him, and it's, in my opinion, the best look for Chewie that we have so far. Because I know the Force Awakens version is pretty chopped up. So I definitely want to try to get a Chewie in my collection. That's going to be the best looking one. That's this one, in my opinion. Now, he's very accurate to the body, I'd say. Now, it gets a little rough near the face. I know people are hating upon the smile look and how the nose looks and how it parts up, but it you kind of get used to it. You can tell it's him. It's the best hair they've done in a Wookiee face sculpt. So honestly, I think they done pretty good with it. I can't imagine it was easy to do either. To be able to make his mouth move with all the hair not getting damaged and whatnot. But like I said, the likeness is really hard to tell if it's there. I mean, you can do some moving around with the hairs, like right here and whatnot, and his eyebrows and his nose, hopefully. But it's a lot of work. Now, he does look pretty amazing next to other characters like Leia. And let me tell you, the next figure on our list is a very confusing figure for me. I don't know which version to get. So this is where I need help. This is where I need other opinions on what to do. Because this figure is what I want to do. But I can only do this figure if I get the Hoth version. Because it is two different head sculpts. Now the head sculpt for this figure is different from this one, as you can tell, because the hair in the back. It is the Bespin version hair. So if you would want to do that figure, you would have to get this head sculpt with this body and take off the vest. Now that's a lot of work for this look from Escape from Bespin. Now that's going to be something that I'm going to try to achieve, but it's going to be very hard. At the same time, though, I could also try to go for the Endor Luke for the original trilogy character. So, next, like I said, Return of the Jedi is pretty nice. But I also want to go for that Empire look because this figure is alone is pretty amazing. I want to go for the Empire Strikes Back Leia. We got the Empire Strikes Back Chewbacca with the broken C-3PO. And then we would also have the Empire Strikes Back Han. But if I choose to do the Empire Strikes Back, I have to wait forever for this Han. And I know everybody's super excited for this one. And you could take the jacket off and try to replace it with this version, because the pants is still the same. And the shirt, pretty much, for the most part. But the vest is different and the jacket's different. So it's a very hard option whether to go with the Return of the Jedi Luke, Han, and Leia, or the Empire Strikes Back Luke, Han, and Leia. All very amazing figures in my opinion. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. It's going to be definitely a hard decision to make when the time comes. And the same goes for Palpatine. I already mentioned it earlier that I'm not 100% sure which version to get. I really like this version for him, but he is not out yet. They do have this version that is out. But I have Maul from Clone Wars and Savage Opress coming, and it brings the question if I should get this version to stack them up next to each other. So, like I said, another hard decision of whether or not I should get this version, or this version. All bring a different presence to the shelf. And then I guess after that, we have our honorable mentions. These are going to be all the figures that I'm going to try to get. Don't know when I'm going to get them, but these are after the list of the main figures I want. So that's going to include most of the 501st figures. I do have Captain Rex. Next up would be a chrome version of Mando. I would very much like a version from the movie that's coming out. Hopefully it's also going to be chrome. The Bush Leia. I would like this figure, but it would stand out in its own just because it doesn't really fit with any of the Lukes or Hans or Chewies, you know. So this figure you would have to put more in like a Jabba's Palace type theme. Next up for honorable mentions is, of course, the rooted hair Mustafar version of Anakin. Don't know if I'm ever going to pick up a rooted hair version of Anakin. I know a lot of the hairs on these Hot Toys figures don't hold up and are being very poofy, in my opinion. I've seen a lot of collectors Anakin's hair very poofy. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I can't imagine that it won't happen to this figure either. Next up is going to be the Ahsoka white suit. This one was very nice, and I almost put this on the list if there wasn't a third season coming out. Sorry, not a third season, second season. If a second season wasn't coming out, then I wouldn't put this figure on the list, because I'd rather get the newer version that's going to come out sooner or later than an older version. This one has better face sculpt, way better than the first one, so I went with this one. We'll see what happens though. Next up in the standalone movie category that I want to go for is the endoskeleton of the Terminator. This figure is pretty great in my opinion. It comes out chrome, comes out with several hands and battle damaged accessories, and a great stand in my opinion. It's got light up eyes and a movable mouth. So I'm definitely going to try to get him. And if I'm going to get him, I got to, of course, try and get the T-800. This is the 2.0 battle damage version, and everybody loves this figure from what I've seen. When everybody's seen this figure and they got him and finally in hand, there's a brand new version of the Terminator that I don't know what company released it, but it just looks phenomenal and it looks so lifelike, way better than this one. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get this figure. That's why it's in honorable mentions. Next up is Darth Malgus. He is in honorable mentions because I have not completed the Old Republic yet. I want to beat that game, at least as one side character so far, and then I'll think about getting him. I have not gotten through the game to where I even met him yet, so it's like, why would I get a figure when I know nothing about him? I know he's a Sith Lord, and he comes from the Star Wars universe, and he's Darth Malgus, of course. I just don't know anything about him, so I'd rather get somebody else before him. Another figure that would be in the movie category is Beetlejuice. I'd rather go with the first movie version. I really thought he looked really amazing. I know some people struggle with the hair, but I can tell how you can do it and how you can mess with it, and it's just, I can't imagine it'd be hard. So I really want to try and get this figure and make him look really nice on the shelf. Next up is going to be a Predator from the first movie, and this is the 2.0 version. And I want to get this one, of course, and put him next to the Feral Predator from New Predator, next to Old Predator, Old Predator next to New Predator. Be pretty nice. I know this figure comes with a lot of accessories. It comes with a lot of great detail. But it's going to be a while till we get him because we got other figures on a higher priority list. Next up is going to be the Paul Atreides by Inert. Now, this figure is pretty great. I love him. It looks great. It comes with a lot of accessories. Great movie. I can't wait for part 3. But that's the thing. There's going to be a part 3 soon. So he could have a whole different look from that movie. I know it could be a while till that figure comes out. And this figure is pretty amazing. And I'd rather get the sculpted hair version than the rooted hair version. Because like I said before, I don't know how I feel about that short of hair. But we'll just have to see. Next up in the list, like I said earlier, is I do plan on getting the Christian Bale Batman. But if I'm going to get a Christian Bale Batman, I have to get the Batman. I have to get the Armory, the 2.0 version to be exact, with the Christian Bale posable body. This figure is just amazing. I know everybody who gets this is just baffled, and words can't even describe how amazing this looks. So definitely going to try to get him, but I know how hard he's going to try to get. So that's why he's in honorable mentions. Next up is going to be the Purge Trooper. Like I said, I want to go for more of that Sith aesthetic to my collection. So I think the Purge Trooper would bring that. He would go great with other troopers in my collection. And Grand Admiral Thrawn, I think he's an amazing character. Not only that, but they did a great job with the face sculpt. Like, it looks so much like the actor. And this figure is just overall amazing. Even though he doesn't come with much, he just looks, he's so menacing. Let's just say that. He's not even done. We still are going to get more of him in the new Ahsoka season. So I can't wait for that. And we can only hope that this figure is just going to be as amazing as it looks when he comes in, because I really want to get him. Another honorable mention will be Rick, the door technician. Sorry, not Rick, the door technician. Scout Trooper Commander. Now, this figure, let me tell you about this figure. He could wipe out every character in this list. Why? Because he's just awesome. He's got great detail. He's an ARF trooper. He comes from a great video game. And I can't get him and not pair him next to another one. So I'd like to get Rick the door technician and get this version of this trooper with the scout bike. Those are two figures I would like to get in honorable mentions, but don't know when I will get them. But I'm sure it'll happen sooner or later, as they're not that expensive on the aftermarket. I gotta go back one, as you guys had already seen, was Captain Vaughn. Now he's honorable mention, as you could tell, because he didn't really have a lot of screen time. I would rather get him when I'm getting other 501st clones, and he'll of course go on that shelf. But like I said, he's just another clone, so it's only time will tell when I will get him. Next up is going to be Fennec Shan. Now I would like to get her because I have this version of Boba Fett in my collection. And I would also like to get Boba Fett's throne because I do not quite have that yet. And that's this pose right here, this picture right here is the exact picture I want in my collection. But I can't achieve that without the throne or Fennec Shan. So they're in honorable mentions. Next up is going to be Padme. Now, it would be nice to get a Padme figure from Revenge of the Sith, as we only have this one from Attack of the Clones. And if I get this version, I would really not have anyone else to pair her up next to, unless I get the Attack of the Clones version of Anakin and the Obi-Wan that's coming out. Only time will tell if Hot Toys will do a Revenge of the Sith version. Next up, we of course have to try and get R2-D2, along with C-3PO. We gotta try and get these two figures for obvious reasons. They're the main characters of the Star Wars universe. They've been in almost every single movie, I want to say, except for the little standalone solo movies. But it's pretty obvious why we want to try and get these figures. It's by far the best R2 that they've released, with all the different arms that he comes with and all the light up abilities that he has. And then the C-3PO, I don't know if he comes with a gold leg and a swap out silver leg. We'll just have to see. Next up on our list is going to be Kylo Ren. Going along the Sith theme of our collection, I would have to add him. Even though I'm not a big fan of the newer trilogy, I still like look of Kylo Ren. He's a good character before Disney ruined him. So I would like to try and get the latest version of him. Don't know if I'm going to go with this face sculpt though, as I rather like the Last Jedi face sculpt better of Adam Driver. Next up is going to be a Tusken Raider. Now, I would like a Tusken Raider in my collection. I would actually like a couple because I really like these characters. They're packed with detail. No way you can mess up how they look. And overall, just an iconic character in Star Wars universe. Next up is going to be a Shock Trooper. I would like to pair up the Shock Trooper right next to my Flame Trooper. Now, I think they look really well next to each other, fitting that red and white aesthetic. So we got him in honorable mentions. Next up for honorable mentions is the entire Avengers line. Now, I'm not sure how I'm going to tackle this, because I could either get Infinity War Avengers or Endgame Avengers, or I could go for Doomsday Avengers. I'm not sure yet. I could end up waiting time for Doomsday, for those haven't been released yet, but only time will tell. Because we won't get figures like Black Panther, Star-Lord, figures like that, But we'll just have to see how well Doomsday comes out. Next up on our honorable mentions is going to be, of course, the Revenge of the Sith, Darth Vader. Now, this figure, I can tell you that every collector is also anticipating this figure, because this is going to be the most definitive version for Vader that there is, because he has the nylon suit. Comes with a wired cape, the light up chest, and the light up belt with almost 10 different hands. That's crazy. And he comes with the table. So everybody's going to try to sort this figure out. It's pretty amazing. I don't know when I'll get him, but I'm definitely going to try to. And that's going to be all of our figures that we are going to try to get for 2026. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Please give my give your honest opinion of this list, because there's a lot of figures in here that I'm still trying to figure out, like Palpatine, Han Solo, Leia, Luke, all figures I want to try and figure out. So please give your honest opinion on what you guys think. Make sure you leave a like and a subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.